Yep.
Alright, so this is burst strength. To measure burst strength, first thing we're going to do is turn the instrument on. You'll hear the pump start in here. I always like to just check in here. There's a rubber diaphragm. Make sure it's not ruptured. I put my finger in there and make sure there's not any oil or anything leaking. If there is, you have to go find somebody to replace that. Now we're going to use this sample. That's the half moon sample. Okay, not this one that has the two parallel edges. That's for tear testing. This one's for burst testing. So we're going to take the instrument up here. There's two dials. We're going to use the higher range dial in almost all cases and make sure that the valve is open on this side and closed on this side. It almost always is. We're going to set our telltale here back down to 0. Now we're going to try to burst this twice, in one spot here and one spot here on this sheet of paper. So I'm going to lift this sample up. I'm going to put it down so that it covers the diaphragm down below on that whole side. I'm going to take this and I'm going to push it down. You might hear it's leaking a little air. To stop that, just lift it up a little bit and it'll stop. Now to run your burst sample, I'm going to push the handle in this direction. Watch here till it bursts through, and then I have to pull it back in the other direction. If I don't do that, the diaphragm will burst and we'll get oil everywhere. So here we go. I'm going to push in this direction. I'm watching here. The bubble is going to build up. It's going to burst through, and then I pull it back in the other direction. And that retracts the diaphragm back down. Now I'm going to read my value up here, and I read it at 13 psi.
13 psi.
So 13 psi is the first test. I lift this up. You can see the burst. And now I'm going to move the sample over so I can clamp it down, put my telltale back, run the sample again. Second test was 12 psi.
13.
So you can see you can get 2 bursts out of each of these. Again, I'm doing all these tests with the rough side up.